Welcome back. Getting everybody on. Looks like we're having some difficulties, but my apologies for the tardiness. As I mentioned, I was going to be probably a little bit late. Looking for a new place, so I have to move to the to a new spot. Um, Looks like next month. So went to go look at a new place uh, to live at. So got just so you know, like when you go look for a new place, there's a couple of things. We've got our realtor friends, on movetravelcolumbia.com. Those guys are the experts. So they're trusted, vetted resources that have properties available. Got some other properties to see. But the good thing when you're on the ground is that you can pull up. So found a spot on Airbnb and went there. Was able not only to go see the spot, no commitment or anything, like see the neighborhood, what's around. Um, but the other thing was that I was able to negotiate a rate off of Airbnb that was about almost $400 less a month um, than the Airbnb listed price. So these are some of the things that you guys need to pay attention to when I talk about like touching soil, like going to a place and actually speaking to somebody versus trying to do everything online. I mean, you can. There's just benefits to it for certain. So, hope you guys are good. Want to make sure we guys are sharing the live. If you are seeing this and you or someone you know is interested in moving abroad, you're in the right place. Tonight and every Tuesday in the 6:30 time frame. I do my best to try to give you guys a heads up if I'm going to be late. But we talk about mental health, and mental health is a scenario of you guys having to understand your mental health while you are in the United States, as is today. But then you've got to also factor in your mental health when you get abroad. Like there's a whole thing. My dad always says you take you with you. So when you go to move abroad, you are actually going to be in a scenario where you have to still take care of the person that you brought to, out of the United States. But when we get into mental health and what you guys are going through in the United States, it's very interesting at this point. There are so many scenarios where I know people are going through mental health scenarios, and I don't mean mental health as in you're like something's wrong with you. But we all have a scenario where in the United States where we're like the things around us impact us. They do. And I will tell you that there was a time in the United States where the things that you are used to you weren't used to. And the first time it happened, everybody, no matter, and like I said, people get into like the politics. No, 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 no. Everybody was and kind of like a what is going on situation when these things happen. But now they are the norm. They are the norm in America. And you're like, well, what is he talking about? Things that, are things that we experience every day at this point, where the first time it was the biggest news ever. Mass incidents. These are things that happen in America that happen more often than not. I'm old enough to remember not the first one, but I remember when people used to be in uproar about these things happening in schools. That wasn't normal. It happens all the time now. Children are literally being taught in school how to survive a mass incident. Children as young as kindergarten. And these are real things that we're seeing on a daily basis. Before 9/11, there was you could just walk there was no TSA. You could walk to the gate and bags. I don't think bags cost anything. Now after that, all of those things, you got to take off your shoes ever since some guy decided, let's do something with shoes. These are things that if you're old enough, you remember when they weren't a part of America. They weren't like the stuff that you just comes with the United States. But it is today. Gas prices. I remember, I remember when gas hit like $1.50, $2, and people were like, "What? This is insane. This is gas. Everybody needs it." Remember when gas used to be like $3, $4, California $5+ a gallon? They're not even paying. Um, that's almost pretty much minimum wage in the United States. $5 a gallon, $5 a gallon. It's a little bit off, but you guys get the thing. There's so many things that come with the United States and just living there. Don't get me wrong, because you guys are born there. I was born there. So when I was there, it was like this is normal. With these rising gas prices, people going to work and still not having enough money to afford a house. So you got people that work full-time jobs that are homeless in the United States. These are all realities that have become the norm. Whereas when you go overseas and you go outside of the United States, you realize that may not be what it is the norm of what the world's cadence is. Now, people definitely have it worse, and I would say there are a lot of people that aren't in good situations. I'm not painting the USA versus abroad as if it's some sort of perfect picture. Challenges are everywhere. However, if you are a person that can utilize the privilege of growing up in the United States, having access to the United States dollar, which at this point means a lot more around the world as you go, you have the ability to escape. But when you escape, you realize, yo, I got to get out of here. Things cost so much. I have to leave for a better quality of life. The food is so bad, and you get out of here and you actually escape it, and you realize, like, okay, so this is just going on in the United States. The United States made it seem like this was what the world was. You know why? Because, and I don't like to use this word, but it is a word that so many are familiar with. They will tell you that most of the places around the world, except I probably say Eurocentric places in the United States and Canada, they're third world countries. They're third world countries. So when you from America consider a place like Colombia or anywhere else, you're like, that's a third world country, you know? But what if I told you that based off of what you actually may define a third world country, or you might realize that you might be the one that be living in a third world country? What do you mean? What do I mean? So when we talk about healthcare, the United States funds healthcare for other people around the world with tax dollars that go into, what is it, oblivion at this point? I have no idea, but it's not going in Americans' people's hands. So you guys are like fighting battles where you can't afford to get sick. How about never mind getting sick? How about retiring? So, if you're at the retirement age and you are looking and you are saying, okay, well, I retire, I've got this much in my pension, which gives me X amount of dollars, and then I've got Social Security and Medicare. If it's still going to be around, if you're retiring right now, it's still around. If you're retiring by the time I get retirement age, it probably won't be around. But let's say you are at a retirement age right now, and they say, okay, cool. Based off of everything that you've done, we're going to give you $2,000 a month. Now I know based off of how I talk to enough older people, if you can get $2,000, even $3,000 a month off of retirement, you probably spent a lot more than what they giving you back on that. So $3,000 a month. That's before taxes. Let's call that, if it's 3,000, let's call that 20 $2,000. Let's say they take 1,000 and leave you with two-thirds. Fine. How many places are in the United States can you in a major city go afford $2,000 a month rent? What if you are currently in a situation where you're spending, and your lifestyle is at $80,000 a month, but you're looking to retire, $80,000 a month, $80,000 a year, which at this point is not even as much money as it used to seem like and sound. Yet so many people are actually way below that. Yet even the people that are at the $80,000 mark are literally trying to figure out, okay, well, if eggs keep going up and gas keeps going up and the property taxes and everything around me keeps going up and my wages don't keep going up, what am I going to do? So your mental health from a perspective of in the United States is consistently attacked. And we're just talking about finances. Let's say you have all the money in the world. Good for you. Good for you. Let's say you have all the money in the world. So money is not your thing, right? But we've seen so many situations where money can't buy happiness. Money can't buy happiness. Money can't buy health. Money can only buy you stuff and things. So, when you talk about healthcare, you've got money, you can definitely afford healthcare. But so many people are like, okay, I'm not like, I don't have all the money, but I have enough money and everything else. But what happens when you're one incident away from being medical bill poor? Think about that. I mean, like, these are things that you already know, that you are actively moving around in society in the United States and saying, hey, we're all dealing with this. But what if I told you that you didn't have to deal with that? What if I told you as long as you can make the money that you are making, whether that's retirement, whether that's remote work, making money online, whatever the case is, and you could go and not spend all of your money just trying to keep your head above the water? I see people come out here, they hire chefs, they hire nannies, they take their kids to on like they're now their kids are doing horse riding classes, like things that cost absolute crazy money in the United States. They're doing these things, but you can't afford to do that. One, you've got to go to work every day, so your mental health is like, I have to go to work just to be able to afford the basics. Maybe you're taking one trip a year. I know so many people that aren't even able to afford to do that. And travel was the biggest unplug. So many people look to go and do vacation because they're like, hey, I got to get out of here. I need to unplug from who I am in the United States because I'm always on. United States breeds an always on scenario. One of the biggest things when I first got out of the United States, talking about things outside of the United States that I had to get used to, and I realized that this is a break for my mental health, was nobody moves as fast as they do in the United States. Everybody is on fire because you are in a position where you are constantly needing to make money. Well, what if you could have enough to be happy and have time with your friends and family? I walked back home from where I went to go look at the place with, and I was like, man, it's just beautiful out here. I mean, it's December. It's like 70 some degrees out. Uh, People are just vibing. And when I say vibing, in the United States, I'm from Philadelphia, so Northeast. And you guys don't know, we're here in Medellin, Colombia. But in the Northeast, there's a hustler mentality. You always got to hustle. You always got to go. And I'm not saying that people in Colombia aren't hustlers, because they are some of the best hustlers. And I don't mean like hustle you. I mean like hard workers. However, they have such a beautiful scenario um, where they can work hard but also appreciate the beauty of life. When is the last time that you were able to just spend weeks with your family, even a week with your family, and even in just your neighborhood? Never mind a vacation, but just you guys enjoying each other, playing cards, drinking, telling those stories. Older people telling younger people about what it is that they used to do when they were kids. That's what's going on right now here. Whereas everybody in the United States, you guys are watching this, you guys are like, Christmas is next week. I haven't even paid Jeff Bezos for my gifts. Hopefully he can get them all here in 2 days. I gotta go wrap all these gifts, but I gotta work all the way up until Christmas Eve or the 23rd just to be able to make the money that I need to. And then right after that, I gotta work between then and all the way through New Year just to be able to afford the things that I need to give my family, so they'll feel like, they're taken care of. And it's just like, you sound stressed. No, it's coming out of my mouth, but is this not your life? Did y'all pick up extra shifts because you needed to do certain things for Christmas? Did you start doing DoorDash or Uber Eats because you needed to afford everything? You've done this how many Christmases however you old you are, and how many times you had to do it. How many Christmases have you spent your time, energy, and effort to afford stuff and things for your friends and family? And they loved it when you gave it to them. But how long did that love last? Not saying that they're ungrateful, but more so, it's stuff and things, so it's fleeting. So we look at these things and it's like, your mental health is actually under attack in the United States, and you might not even know it until you hear something like this. You might actually say, damn, I didn't realize that my mental health was so stressed out. And you're telling me that there's people that make a quarter of the amount I make in the United States, don't have half the stuff and things that I have, but have a bigger smile, and a better feeling about themselves, getting up every day and doing what it is that they have to do. I tell people, we've got I don't know how many United States holidays we have, but I know in Colombia, I think they're up to 18 federal holidays. So that's a day off. But then when you work, I think you get another 20 paid days off. So that's 38 days a year that you are do not have to work. Think about that. If anybody does math and anybody knows the calendar, there's only 12 months in a year, and it's usually 30 to 31 days outside of February. It either has 28 or 29. So to get 38 days off on a month, like between a Monday through Friday, they don't ding you for a Saturday and Sunday. If it falls on a Saturday, it's going to be celebrated on Monday. 38 days off. What would you do if the United States gave you 38 paid days off? How much more of the world could you see? We not even, never mind the money that you may or may not have. You don't have the time. I see some people when they be like, I got unlimited PTO. Now, you and I both know that unlimited PTO is a pizza party. It's a corporate pizza party. It gives you the, oh, I can take off as much as I want. No, you can't. No, you can't. And you know that because you won't have a job. So we talk about these things. We only talked about finances and, and healthcare. But what about food? These are all multi-layered and stacked things that you have to actually deal with as a person in the United States. The FDA literally tells you guys it's not something that is like, oh, my opinion. No, no, no. The FDA said, well, no, we can grow some meat in a lab and then give it to them. Let me ask you this: all my sandwich lovers, right? Didn't we just see half the year y'all couldn't eat lunch meat in certain places? How many how many food recalls have it been just this year? Yo, they told everybody that you don't give out your social security number and make sure you put a strong password in. Yeah, we've seen so many things from Equifax saying everybody's information was breached, social security numbers, all of this stuff. These are all things that go on in America. Not saying that it doesn't go on in other places, but you are paying a premium for BS. If I had to put it into a better, you are paying a premium for basic cable. You got 3, 6, and 10. 3, 6, and 10 is what it is that we used to have in Philadelphia. I don't know what ABC, NBC, and CBS is where you're from, but you are paying a premium for basic cable. You are paying more of your money and time away from your friends just to say, oh, you got money in the United States, but do you really? Let me ask you this, because really, what the amount of money you have comes down to this. Never mind about the stuff and things, because it's financial habits and everything else. But if you have $500 left every month after you pay all your bills and do everything you need to do, what can you do? Y'all remember coins? Yeah, quarters, nickels, dimes, pennies, even get up to a half a dollar. Who would have had a dollar? The second you weigh a dollar. Yeah, when's the last time you used one of those? Maybe you went to Aldi or a grocery store and was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna get the buggy, but you don't even use coins anymore. Everything costs more. Everything costs more, and then there's a sale for everything. We talked about this the other day, man. There's a President's Day sale. Nobody cares about the presidents enough to have a sale for them except for America. They're literally you're in a constant barter of trading your time away from your friends and family for stuff and things that they sold you that you keep finding out you need to continue to get more of. So your mental health is consistently under attack from the octopus arms of what America will slap you upside the head with every time they give a chance. We got comfortable with things that used to make us uncomfortable in the United States. Mass incidents used to make us uncomfortable. They no longer do. It's just a part of whatever happened on Monday. $100 a bag of groceries. Look, you guys are in a situation where they're talking about Lost my mic. Okay, perfect. We're still recording. I thought it was what you call perfect. So you guys are gonna say, dude was right. But like, what happens when you get abroad? Talk about all the reasons why you would leave and the mental health of dealing with living abroad, but you're going to run into other things that you might not be ready for. Talked a little bit about that last night. You know, being treated like an American. Now, I'm not saying everybody's experience is my experience. However, I never really felt like an American in America. I felt like an African American in America and never been to Africa. So I was in a scenario where I was like, this is interesting because I'm being treated at first glance as if I'm black. But the moment they realized, when I first got here, my Spanish sucked. I learned Spanish at Cartagena, Medellin. It was completely different. I was like, I'm having a hard time. Um, but then when I realized I spoke English, they're like, oh, you're American. Oh, let me show you this menu. It's like a whole new menu, a whole new package, a whole new like lifestyle, a whole new like, treatment. And I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that. Even when I go back to the United States, as I was walking here back home, I was like, this is going to piss me off when I go back to the United States. And what do you mean? It's going to piss me off that people aren't just living like this. I can see them and it'll make you sad because it's like everybody's just with their head down. Everybody's just like, what can I get out of you? Most people don't even have time to say, hello, how are you? Like, nothing. There's no time for this stuff. There's no humanity in humans in the United States because everybody has capitalism has allowed everybody to believe that they are going to be the next millionaire or billionaire. And people have put so much emphasis on becoming the next millionaire or billionaire. And I'm telling you how, because I was one of them, that people can't even find the beauty in humanity and community anymore because you got to get to that dollar. I no longer feel that way. You know, I no longer feel that way. I literally feel like, as long as I have enough to put food on my table, be able to travel and see certain things, I can probably live. I'm living off of less than 50%, more than 50% of what it was that I was spending in the United States. Yet I am doing more things and finding more joy in life. So, not saying that you don't need money and money you can't, it's not something that you can utilize to do other things. I'm not saying that. I'm not against capitalism either and getting money. I'm not saying that either. But getting money shouldn't be your life. I'll tell you why. If you go back hundreds of years, maybe go back 1400s, right? Around the world, what kind of currency were they using? Were they using US dollars? Were they using euro? Were they using real? Were they using the franc? No, they weren't. They weren't using any of those. Tomorrow, right now, the United States dollar is backed off of thoughts and prayers, the same thoughts and prayers that they give you for mass incidents. Federal Reserve is a basic thoughts and prayers. How is our money worth anything? And we're like trillions of dollars in debts, hundreds of trillions of dollars in debts. So it's just thoughts and prayers that the money is based off of, which leads me to my point. If they told y'all bottle caps were the new currency tomorrow, you would see a mass rush on recycling bins and opportunities to hoard bottle caps. I live in Colombia. Venezuela is the neighboring country. Venezuela's government and currency has crashed. So if you're ever in Colombia, in Medellin or Cartagena, and you see somebody with a brick of money, like a big brick like this, and he might be like waving it, you're gonna look. The only reason they waving that and nobody's like, give me all that money, because it worth nothing. They weigh the money in Venezuela. That's why so many Venezuelans are, moving around the world because it's not great there. The money is so destabilized that it doesn't mean anything. It comes down to weighing it, no longer what is printed on the paper. I'm not saying that that's going to happen in the United States, but just when you think about the fragility of money. We're in a scenario where we're seeing crypto and Bitcoin and things that aren't even tangible, and people are saying, "What is this? It's not even tangible. What do you think?" Okay, so they gave you a piece of paper that has some lines on it, and they said this is real money. It's the exact same thing because it's just thoughts and prayers, isn't it? Yeah, we are trading so much of our stuff and things and time and energy that we don't get back. Listen to me. I have a beard and no hair. Before I had a beard, I had a bunch of hair and no beard. I'm not getting that back. You don't get no time back. You can't go back. You can't relive college. You can't relive high school. You can't relive when things were great. You don't remember the last time you went outside with your friends from middle school, but it happened. All of these things are real. So you actually have to start realizing, like, yo, you guys are in a scenario where you have to take your life and put it in a situation where, am I driving in the car or am I just along for the ride? Mental health is about taking your mental health and saying, I am going to dictate what it is that I can, how it is that I can, to make certain that I'm not going to be in a situation where somebody is driving me in a place where my life is not destined to go. But if you don't get into the driver's seat, if you just let America keep telling you to trade all your time and everything away from people and your friends and your family, then you won't get exactly what it is. Once your hip go, there go your travel. You're gonna need the hip to get around and see some of these places. Once your hip go, once your back go, there go your travel, there go your experience. What you gonna do then? The food is slowly poisoning you, so you might not even have as long as the last generation. When are you gonna wake up? Me and a whole bunch of us. We already out here. We already have woken up. Snap out of it. Do it for yourself. You guys in the legacy, do it for the kid that you have or the kid that you don't have, to give them something bigger than what America is going to go sell you. Because America tells you that you need to keep all your resources, do all your stuff, and stay in America so that you can be a part of the program. America wants you part of the program because America is no longer a government. America is a for-profit business. And you guys don't understand that when we get into the difference between what a government is supposed to do for people and what a for-profit business does for profit and bottom line, those are two different things. You do not want your government run like a business. The moment you get sick and can no longer show up to make money for the establishment, then you are no longer a part of something that it is that I need to keep intact. I'm not saying that governments abroad are like this perfect place. I'd be a whole liar. I would be a liar. But it comes down to what you are willing to deal with. So many people are certain knee-jerk reactions and saying, yo, I'm about to be out. There's a cruise that let me travel for 4 years with them. I'm gonna miss this whole Trump thing. I'm out of here. Why did you already stress about the things that have nothing to do with him if that's your reason, right? What do you think is going to happen 4 years later? You think it's going to go upwards? You think it's going to go better? I don't. I've been watching America from afar with binoculars on the last 2 years, and I can't believe it's not more people that's ready to go. I can't believe it's not more people that have said, hey, yo, why are they playing with us like this? Right now, if you're in Philadelphia, New Jersey, and there's probably other places in the United States, but if you are in Philadelphia, New Jersey, and you are watching this, and you go outside and you see a UFO, and they say, I don't know who that is, I don't know what that is, but you got to go to work tomorrow, wrap your head around that. Wrap your head around it. Think about it. Because that is the mental stress that you got to go live under. I show y'all the sky every night. I don't see no UFOs here. Might be some fireworks. Might be a guy, juggling some machetes at a red light, but I don't see no UFOs. And I don't think if somebody seen a UFO behind me, they would be like, it's okay. I mean, tomorrow's work. Mañana. Shabbat. No. So you guys going to get out of the United States, and you're going to, depends on where you go, you're going to have to get into the what your mental health would be abroad. Some things is going to be like a wow, I didn't expect that to be a reality. Not a bad reality, it's just I wasn't prepared for that. What you also may run into is depending on how you come. If you don't do the legwork of becoming open to being and living abroad, then when you get here, you're not going to have a good time. You don't speak the language, you don't understand the culture, you don't go out. Something as small as this, right? We go to a bar, right? And you go, you're like, oh, they got bar snacks. Like, United States bar snacks are like peanuts, pretzels. No, not crazy. They give it to you free. Here, they give you mangoes and like these little circle Cheeto things, like fruit while you're drinking. You won't even experience that if you don't go outside. To come to another country and to act like everything that America told you, oh yeah, so it's really bad in Colombia, it's really bad in Jamaica. Do you know what these countries outside of the United States say about people and their citizens going to the United States? Please don't come to me and ask me if it's safe here when you don't even live somewhere safe. So you're going to get into a situation where it's like, okay, I've got to alarm and do certain things that I may not be used to in the United States, but there's also a lot more bigger things that I'm just not having to deal with. That's a give and take. You if you come here being closed minded, you are going to have a mental health struggle because you're going to feel like this is so different than the United States. People come here and they're like, the food here is terrible, and I'm like, either you don't know good food in the United States, or you have only decided to order on Rappi, which is a food delivery, or the last one, which is you just was like, I'm just gonna order chicken fingers while I'm in abroad. None of those things are a person that is looking to live abroad and be amongst a new community and learn new culture and everything else. Your culture is the reason why you're here. The community, it no longer served you in the United States. So why would you go close it off? So some people that come here and are very like, oh, I didn't have a great time living abroad. Did you do your research, or did you just go based off of your gut and your vibes? And you went from TikTok to terminal after listening to 20 minutes, or not even 20 minutes, 20 seconds, and somebody told you can get a $40 bottle in Colombia, and you was like, this is the greatest place ever. Your experience is going to come down to you, 100%. If you are somebody that thrives off a community, this is going to 100% factor into your mental health abroad, because not every expat community is set up the same way. So if you go somewhere where you're 35 and you go somewhere where all of the expats are 65 and they're not looking to do anything on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe one Sunday a month, and then you say, well, this is a terrible decision. Yeah, it was a terrible decision because you did no homework. You didn't take your mental health and say, okay, I drove myself out because I got in a car. They've been driving me crazy for these last couple of years. I said, hey, get out. I'm driving this car. Now, you know what? Abroad seems like the place to go. And then you went back into the passenger seat. If you think that moving abroad is you becoming a lazy person, you are wrong. You're wrong. It's going to take so much to get out. It's going to take so much to get acclimated. It's going to take so much to continue to learn. And I've been here for 2 years. I've been coming here almost 10. I'm telling you, I'm still getting acclimated to Colombian culture, learning new things, learning new traditions, learning to just continue to go with the flow. I still haven't been able to unplug from the American work schedule. Even though I'm out the rat race and I don't feel like I gotta die to just be able to afford to live, I also run into a scenario where it's like, hey, I still gotta be on Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. I'm still building my dreams and still giving myself an opportunity to see everything it is that I want to see. So some days I work on Saturday and Sunday. I'm real with y'all. Not because I want to, but because I need to do something different. These things that I'm doing here, Monday through Friday, you think between 3 o'clock and 7:30, I don't even have other things to do, or want to just relax. But no, I'm here in front of you guys because I'm really, really taking my opportunity and saying, not only did I learn a lot, but I can help a lot of people. And when these people find me, they'll see everything else that we have that's in the background. But I need to put this stuff first. I need to put this education, this information, these things that were almost not gate kept, but kept far away from me, and I had to piece them all together. These are conversations that weren't being had with me about what I was dealing with in the United States before I moved, what I might be in store for moving abroad, and what I had to be in the driver's seat for so that my mental health, I wasn't getting homesick or America sick. I know people that, just red, white, and blue. Even with all the challenges that they're saying, what you call them, there's no place better than America, and they've never stepped out or actually lived there. PTSD. You got it, my boy. You got it. So when we look at these things, Tuesdays are designed, one, for the opportunity. If you guys are questioning if I need to move abroad, this is real behind the curtain stuff, man. This is not like, oh, we just giving you some fluff to get you somewhere just so we can make some money. No, like I'm telling you, like this is what goes on in my head. This is what went on my head from conversations that I've had with so many people. This is what goes on and what went on in their head. All things that they had to figure out before they took the first step to move. Your mental health is on attack full time in the United States. The things that used to trigger you and used to make you go, man, that's crazy as hell, it no longer triggers you. Why is that? It's time to take the power back. One, unplug. Get out if you can. If not, start looking into other alternatives. You can't leave the United States, start looking into traveling more. You can't travel more, start looking into meditation, things that you can put you at a peaceful mindset so you can go deal with the stuff that is out there in the United States for you. All things that I have actually taken the steps done so that you guys don't have to feel like, oh, nobody's done it, so I don't want to be the first one. No, I've done it already. And so many of these people have already done it. So, as always, I definitely appreciate you guys. Mental health is 100% important. Please take care of yourself. Please, if you see somebody and know somebody struggling with mental health and you have the ability to be able to be there for them, just to be a soundboard, an ear. So many of my friends and family go through this and they feel like I got to fight America. I got to fight everything outside of the United States. In the United States. I get it. That's why I'm offering these things to see a black man talking about mental health. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm just a human. I'm just somebody that has already dealt with this and know what it's like to move abroad and the release that you get from moving abroad, and then bringing in the things that you didn't think about so that you continue to have positive mental health while living abroad. Now, we always talk about Tuesdays. Tuesdays is mental health. Tomorrow we will be on at 1 o'clock. We'll be on at 1 o'clock. We're going to be on still at 3 and 6:30, but we'll be on at 1 o'clock tomorrow. 1 o'clock. Anybody that is a parent, that is looking to move abroad, make sure you are on. I am bringing a parent of 2 children. She is out here with her husband. They moved from the United States. They have been here since August. They have their kids in a numerous amount of things that your kids might want to do. So come on here, ask some questions, get some real life answers. If you guys happen to miss it because it's in the middle of the day, I will make sure and it's put on YouTube. There's at least 11, 12 videos on our Black Expat Life in Colombia YouTube right now. There will be so many more that will be available. I just got to get them on. I've been working, and I'm a one-man band. I literally play the drums, the sax, the guitar, and I sing a little bit too. And I got a harmonica in my back if the treble get low. But tomorrow we will be outside of talking about tomorrow with the parents. We are talking about the 6 steps. The 6 steps that you must know to move abroad. If you didn't know, it's 6 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Easy to follow, but you have to know them to follow them. And this is not isolated to Colombia. This is for anybody that is considering moving abroad. So please make certain you guys are back here at 6:30 for the people that can join at 1 o'clock, for the parents that are interested. And what's it like with a kid out here? I got you. I already told you I had y'all. It just takes me a little bit of time. People got busy schedules, but I got you. You got plenty of time for inauguration, and you're like, okay, I got to get out of here because it's going right now. So we'll be back at 6:30 with that. 1 o'clock we'll be on with Sherelle, with the parents. Make sure you bring your questions. Make sure you're sharing the live with somebody that needs to hear this. Turn the notifications on, follow. Make certain that you know when it is that we are coming on. 3 o'clock, we will be talking about March, our group travel in March, both our relocation tours, as well as our group travel to Jamaica. And then at 6:30, we're going over those 6 topics, those 6 things that you must do in order to move abroad. We're going to get into it step by step, detail by detail. Thursday, we've got some fun things. We've got an expert on at 6:30 on Thursday and an expert on at 6:30 on Friday. So lock in, tap in. Please, Black Expat Life in Colombia, YouTube, that is the channel. If you guys go to moodtravelcolombia.com, 2 O's in Mood, 2 O's in Colombia. Please don't put that U there because you're going to end up in South Carolina. You guys go there. There are free resources on how to move, different visas, different opportunities, blogs. There are already written blogs that we put together so that you guys can get a start on your journey out of the United States. All of our experts from healthcare, real estate, immigration lawyers, short-term rentals, property investment, everything, all of their contact information, phone numbers, email addresses, websites, put a picture, a name to a face. All of that is on the website. It is for free. So please do yourself a favor. Do not be the next person that goes to move abroad that never took the first step that they needed to besides packing a bag. You're going to be wrong. You are going to be wrong. But the best thing you can do is do the right thing and come back here at 1 o'clock. We will be here a little bit earlier, Eastern time. 1, 3:30, 3 o'clock, and 6:30, you will see me. Y'all have a good night, and I will do the same. As always, I appreciate you guys. I am RJ. Y'all stay safe. I will see y'all tomorrow. If you need me, jump into my messages. My DMs are wide open. And the reason why is because you might see this a little bit later and say, he didn't answer something I need to find out. I got you. I'll see y'all soon. Take it easy. TikTok. None of y'all here, but as always,